What is going on, everyone? Tyler here from Rectify Gaming, back with another tier list video. And this time we are doing a Chrono Trigger tier list, and we'll be ranking every playable character in the game. And sorry in advance if this spoils it for you if you haven't played the game yet or you're not near the end. So I advise, if you don't want to be spoiled in some way, to exit out of the video. But I'm assuming if you're here, you played the game and want to know my wrong tier list and what I have. I'm sure a lot of you are going to disagree with this, but let's go ahead, I guess. So we are going to start off with Luca, one of the first characters you play as in the game. I'm not the biggest fan of her. I think that um, she's probably most useful at one point in the game. It's probably about like 70% through the game. You'll probably have to use her for something just because of her fire ability, but I'm going to put her as D tier. I don't think she's that good. I think there's better options out there. Now, let's go on to Robo. Now, Robo is I think he's one of the first characters that you can play as where you can start swapping party members. That sounds about right, yeah. So he is powerful at first. I advise, in my opinion, to put him in your party. Once you have him, swap him out with Luca. So I would put him as C tier. I think he has some good techs, some good attacks, but he becomes irrelevant throughout the game once you start unlocking other characters for your party. All right, let's go on to Frog. Now, this is when you start getting to higher tier characters. I think Frog is definitely among those high tier. I think his water magic is pretty good. He does some healing and has good combat, well, melee combat, I guess you could say. Those are regular attacks and some good dual attacks as well. Solid character. I could see this character being one that you could use towards the end of the game more than Luca or Robo, in my opinion. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys have different opinions here. But I would put Frog. I would put him at a B tier. Only because, well, I should say Glenn. His name is also Glenn. So I refer to him as Frog, but obviously because he's a frog. So yeah, Frog at B tier. All right. So now, all right, we're gonna go on to Magus, who is probably the best character to play as in the game. Now, the boss fight, as long as you're not looking up a guide, will be really hard to play against him when you first do the boss battle, which is about halfway through the game. But the shadow magic is a real pain in the ass. But eventually, spoiler alert, you'll get to play as Magus, and you'll be able to choose to have him in your party, or you could choose to kill him, which that would be a dumb decision. But I chose to keep him, and he's my main part of my main party lineup. So, all right, so we're gonna put Magus as S tier. His regular magic is so good. His regular combat attacks is really good too. It's a no-brainer to use him in the game. Next up, we have Chrono. And who doesn't love Chrono? I mean, the game is named after him. I think Chrono is a solid character. I think his magic is pretty good, the lightning and his dual techs. And I believe he has a couple triple techs. I don't know if I've used them because I actually, at the time of this recording, I haven't finished the game completely, but I know he has some triple techs with a few characters. I just can't remember off the top of my head. So I mean, overall, solid character, iconic, should be in Smash Brothers, but that's another discussion for another day. Chrono is an A tier character. I don't believe he's as good as Magus. I think Magus is better. I think Chrono is better than a lot of other characters. I just don't think he's just as good as Magus, you know? That's about it. And next up, we have Isla, or as some may say, Ayla. So Isla is, she's just a tank. She hits hard. I think she has really bad defense, but she hits like a motherfucker. And I think that she has good moments in the game where you could use her, and some moments where you probably shouldn't use her during certain battles. It's like a mixed character. I know a lot of people like using her in a late game. She's good in certain scenarios. I was impressed when I first got her, but like she would probably be my backup if I had to swap out like Magus or Chrono or Marl on my team as far as combat. But I would say Isla's this one's tough because she's definitely not S tier character. I would say more of an A tier character with Chrono, like almost in that same category, but I don't know. Maybe, you know what, thinking about it, Chrono is good in both ways though. He has a lot of good techs and has a lot of good single attacks. Isla, I think, I mean, she does have good dual techs as well with certain characters. You know what? And she does with Chrono, I think, too. I keep forgetting the name of it. But Yeah, I'm actually going to keep her on A tier. Had to think about that for a second. Lastly, we have Marl, the best healer in the game, has ice magic, has a lot of good dual techs. Her ice magic hits hard, ice too, and also using aura and cure is one of the best things in haste. There's no doubt that Marl is the second best character in the game behind Magus. She is an S tier character. You need her on your team. She's the one irreplaceable player on my party. You can't replace her because of what she provides as far as healing and certain things like that when it comes to boss battles. Maybe I'm just a noob. Maybe she's one of the worst in your opinion. I don't know. But I would say Marl and Magus, best characters in the game. Next up, Chrono, Isla, then followed by Frog, and then Robo and Luca last. If you guys disagree with my tier list for Chrono Trigger, please discuss in the comments below. Let me know how wrong I was or how correct I was. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys next time. And hopefully the next time Chrono Trigger is remastered for modern consoles. We'll see. Goodbye, guys.